How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome to the Reflection Connection podcast. I'm Anthony Carrier. We got David Schaefer, and we got Oscar Harding, and then we got Phil Wade. He's got some technical difficulties right now that we're trying to work through. Hey, guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
What's up, YouTube? This is Oscar. I usually go by Oli on my podcast name or whatnot. This is just something we starting to do first off. That's fun, and we're gonna see where it's gonna go from there. We're gonna get into some real good topics. I like to preface this by saying one of these guys on this podcast, we argue all the time, so it's gonna be very entertaining. Y'all just stay tuned.
Hey, this is Dave, and I just got an opinion.
That he does. Like I said, we got Phil working through some technical difficulties right now. He's gonna, he'll eventually pop in and we'll get caught up in everything. But let's go ahead and get into our first topic, guys. All right, so the first topic is going to be, is social media harming society more than it helps? Go ahead, anybody that wants to pop in.
I'll go first.
All right.
Okay.
I think social media actually helps more than it harms. Social media, to me, is just another extension or avenue to receive quick information globally. And in general, most people try to be logical minded or think logical minded. And in general, most people try to be respectful and sincere about what they're talking about. So with that disposition from just, the average human mind, it is likely that social media will be more beneficial to people than harmful, is because now people can receive information much, much faster. Of course, you always have those, what Oscar like to say, outliers of those people who have a specific agenda to where they can try to use social media to seek out what they need to seek out, whether it's malicious or not. But in general, there are more people in the world who are just trying to live, be happy, and social media is just another tool that they can use to reach out and express themselves, gain information or gain help. And so therefore the disposition, I believe, for most people is they're trying to be good people. So using social media, that will just be another tool to help amplify that. So that's my take on it.
You got to ask.
I wanted to be a contrarian on this, but I actually agree with him. I was going to go into it a little bit deeper because some people kind of confuse social media a lot of times with the internet. I think the internet is beneficial because it helps you put out information faster and you can reach more people and stuff like that. And a lot of times I think we have to really break down what we mean by social media. We talking about Instagram, we talking about YouTube. So I think we might need to set some parameters of what we mean by social media. What platforms are we talking about? Like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace for the people that remember MySpace. So I think we need to kind of break that down first. So when we say social media, what are we really talking about when we say social media?
Well, what do you mean by, I thought social media means media dealing with people.
I mean, well, social media, I wouldn't consider, like, to me, when you say you can get information faster, I think it's more, I would relate that more to the internet more so than social media. When I think of, so put it this way, what do you think is the biggest social media platforms? Give me the three biggest social media platforms that you can think of off the top of your head right now.
I say the internet.
Okay, I wouldn't. That's why when you was talking, I kind of figured that you was kind of leaning towards the internet.
Because everything goes through the internet for the most part.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that a social media platform.
No,
well, imagine if you didn't have the internet.
I mean, you need the internet.
A lot of
need the internet,
exist.
but I wouldn't call the internet a social media platform.
Yeah, I would say Instagrams, your Facebooks, your Twitter, also known as X now.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say also known. I think it is X now.
Yeah, it's just X now.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Snapchat.
TikTok. Yeah. Anything that's media, but not. I think that whether you have like Twitter. Traditional media, then you have, which there's checks and balances in traditional media. Technically, you have like editors and people that review stuff.
And I think also you could actually you could express yourself is one of the key elements of social media. The one what you talking about, Austin. You can express yourself immediately on Instagram. You can send a picture. You can make a video. Same thing with Facebook, Snapchat, all that. So
Yeah.
that is one of the biggest things about social media, which it going back to my first point that I made. That's why I think social media is still beneficial, because people can express themselves, and their natural disposition is to be, is to be peaceful. It's just you got those outliers, those knuckleheads who want to just hate the world for whatever it is, for whatever reason. They like to see things burn. You know.
I agree, and then the only overall I agree. I think it's more beneficial. The only thing that I can see that's happening now is that with social media, people don't really actually go out and actually interact with people. They interact with people through kind of like how we doing. They do it from a distance or whatnot. So if you ever see a person that's they've all their life all they've done is social media and stuff like that, you see them in public, they hella awkward. They have this social awkwardness about them or whatnot. And I noticed with stuff like with Instagram and stuff like that, all the women are super sexual on Instagram. To me, and then on X, you can put a whole full, I don't know, can we say corn? You can say corn, you can put a whole movie out like that on there or whatnot. So is some of that stuff beneficial to like kids and stuff like that? And then you have, I don't know if y'all familiar with Rumble and stuff like that. It's a little bit more cool with free speech, because there's certain things like, just like I was saying corn for the PORN word.
We're not
say whatever.
We're not monetized yet, so we can
okay,
you can say what the fuck you want to say.
Oh, okay, cool. So like
Yeah,
certain
that'll be a
stuff on
while.
YouTube, you can't even say like simp, porn, all this stuff. I've watched some stuff and I'm like, why they always like not saying stuff like that?
Oh
But
yeah,
it's because
they not to cut you off, but they double down big time on censoring a lot of stuff that they find not it's not conducive to their profit margin, basically. And that, YouTube is still a business. Google, a lot of people forget that, but yeah.
True. So overall, my take would be that is more beneficial than it is detrimental to society. But I can see some things that are lurking. There's gonna be some issues in the future, like especially just the dating market, all that type of stuff. Like I don't even think people really interact anymore like we used to back in the day. They do everything through social media, which is weird because I said I like some of my coworkers, they're younger than me. So when we go out, I'm like, hey, you just talk to the girl. They're like, no, I'm gonna see if I can get her Instagram or something like that, see if she close enough in the spot. And I'm like, what? The girl right there. So it's like a weird. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's
no,
like
no. That's no, I wasn't gonna say that.
it's like weird. And I don't know how y'all feel about this, but some people, like I think everybody should have a voice or whatnot, but some people might want to keep their mouth closed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's true. The only problem, there's no regulation. Like in my opinion, it should be more regulation when it comes to the First Amendment, at least in America. So you got those people like Donald Trump who just gonna say the craziest, most offensive, slanderous type things, and it's really hard for you to do something legally to him because of the First Amendment. And because most people, in my opinion, there are more stupid people in the world than there are intelligent people. Some of them gonna gravitate to like the words that he say, and now you got two of them wanting to spill the nonsense, and you using social media is it's free real estate for them,
I agree. Bad information gets disseminated just as fast as good information does. That's why I'm like, I was a fence straddler for a while, but I do like being able to get information faster. And I don't even think people watch the news no more. I think people get their news from YouTube.
I don't watch the news.
Yeah,
I think old people still do.
So
older people,
yeah, like my
they're
parents
not on the
they still
internet as
do.
much.
it's funny.
Yeah.
I remember being at work and someone asked that same question, and they were like, "You watch the news?" And I was like, well, "How do you get your news?" I was like, "YouTube." And they laughed at me, like they were like, I can't believe you get your news from YouTube." And I was like, I mean, there are credible sources on YouTube. Like there's new media, there's actual reporters that have YouTube channels, So and they still have to live by that got to have sources that are verified. Now, of course, there are people that just say unverifiable bullshit on YouTube, but
Yeah.
guess what? They do the same thing on Fox News.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I guess my take on this whole social media thing is, just dating ourselves. We were in the world and grew up in the world before social media, so we've kind of seen the before and after. Hell, I remember my first MySpace page.
Yeah.
I remember when I had a MySpace, and matter of fact, I was in Iraq, and someone was like, "Hey man, you should get this new thing called Facebook," and I was like, "That sounds stupid." Like I literally didn't get it because it sounded stupid, but then
Yeah.
I saw how I could just keep up with my family and with pictures and stuff off of Facebook.
Yeah.
But I agree. I do think that social media is a net positive. But I mean there are some negatives. I think kids are soft.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just from helicopter parenting, which I might be myself guilty of this sometimes. But kids, man, like getting bullied back in our days, getting bullied wasn't getting talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if someone was dissing you, like back in how we used to say it, if someone was
Bring back
dissing
the
you,
bullies.
you dissed them back. You know what I mean? Like you fought back with words.
Yeah.
It was
Bullying was
verbal sparring.
physical.
Yeah, bullying
Yeah.
was
It
physical.
was
Like
physical. It
someone
wasn't,
was literally hitting on you and stuff. But now, like, from what I see, like kids would be like, someone was making fun of me. Like, well, make fun of them back.
Yep.
But I guess that's just not the society that we live in anymore. And kids typically, I think kids should be the most regulated from the internet because they don't know how to act and they don't understand how permanent the internet is.
Yeah.
Like sending dick pics and
Mhm.
or the chicks sending naked pictures to kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna
Well, you
lie.
know that
Growing up, I'd have been like, "Yeah, send me a naked picture," but
Yep. Because we probably didn't all done it.
but like kids nowadays, like they send naked pictures, they sharing it with everybody on
Yes.
the internet. We didn't have that. Like
Mm-mm.
I mean,
I,
our little small little Nokia phones with the flips that we could finally get pictures on. Them little
Yep.
grainy ass pictures look like you're taken with a toaster. Get some pics on that.
Mhm.
You couldn't transfer them anywhere. You couldn't share them on the internet. Now, like that shit go out like that, and then
Yeah.
next thing you know,
Right.
holding a memorial service at school. I don't wish that upon
Yep.
nobody.
Very true. Very
Oh.
true. Mhm. So I guess we all kind of in agreement then.
Yeah, we in agreement.
I'm assuming that we mostly gonna be in agreement with a lot of our topics. I don't think we're gonna.
Not about that
I don't,
mistake one.
I'm gonna disagree just to disagree sometimes.
I can't wait for us to even have that topic, Oscar. But yeah,
That's next.
what's the next one?
That's next.
That whole mistake one.
Okay, so you ready? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. You want me to get a context of what was
No, no,
said
no,
to
no,
me?
no.
Because I
Oh
wrote
yeah,
it down.
say what I said.
Oh
and
no
then I'll
no.
respond.
That's not
Oh, go ahead.
next.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh,
So who cheats more, men or women?
oh man, hands down.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a natural disposition. That's what I'm. A lot of my thinking. Obviously, I think you know this. I promote this all the time. I'm a big science promoter, and I like to look at what I understand about science. There's dispositions even in nature, other than just, let's say, basic instincts from a human, like how you automatically has to breathe because you can't control the breathing function in your body. It's also cultural dispositions that is an extension of, how should I say it? It starts with the person, and then people can form a culture or a way of thinking, but it's because it's from their natural disposition. For example, women, they don't like gore. Okay, so they are
Some
I'm
women
on
do
track.
though.
Just bear with me. They don't like gore. It's just naturally to them. They can't stand creepy crawlies, gore. Men, we can tolerate it more. So when it comes to sexual uh, impulses, men's sexual impulses, one, we have it more often than women, so we're likely to cheat. That's just one of it. So I would assume, uh, from my understanding, that yeah, men cheat, and it will always be that way as long as we have a stronger urge to want to have sex or whatever. So we act on our impulse, kind of like eating something that you know is unhealthy for you, but you're gonna eat it anyway because you just want to taste whatever whatever that is, whatever it tastes like. So you will likely cheat compared to a woman, a man. So that's my take on it.
What do you think, guys?
Okay. Now I agree with the stuff you said, like the biological stuff, because men have testosterone. So, and you said it the correct way. You said men are more likely to cheat, but with all these new inventions like social media and stuff like that or whatever, the average dude really ain't getting laid. Like
Probably not, but he more
just
horny than a woman. But anyway,
he's more hornier than a woman. I would agree, but with the inventions, all these new inventions or whatever, the sexual liberation of women and stuff and feminism, women like looking at dudes and be like, hey, I want to do this. They just gonna go and do it or whatnot. The difference is men have the propensity to cheat. Can they actually do it? Like if you walk outside right now and want to go cheat or whatever, you probably would want to go cheat, but you can't. Take your wife or somebody or your girlfriend or somebody like that. If she wants to go outside and cheat, guess what? She can cheat and she can do it with ease or whatever. So
wait, let
because
me. Why would a man
because
can and a woman just can't? The way you just
because
said that.
with all the new stats that come out or whatever, men are getting less laid than women. So if women are getting laid way more than the men are, and it's only like a small group of men that's sleeping with
Okay. You
everybody,
mean
it's got to be more women that are cheating. Because just think of the numbers. Let me give you a scenario. If there's 20 men that's sleeping with 80% of the women, all those women are pretty much cheating because they dating the same dudes. It's them 20% of dudes are sleeping with everybody. The
but
average Joe is not getting laid out here in these streets, dog. They just not. They don't even have
what?
they don't have the access to the women. The women don't want them because they like with social media, what we was talking about earlier, whatever, it globalized the sexual market. But a woman who's beautiful, like say the girls that grew up with us in our neighborhood, now they have access to the whole world. Why would they talk to me when they can talk to some football player that hit them up online? He's sleeping with everybody. Guess what she gonna end up doing? Sleeping with nothing but them dudes. So us average Joes or whatnot ain't gonna be able to get none. So I would actually say it's probably a lot closer to 50-50 than what we believe, just because the way the market is set up now. Men want to cheat. Women
You
can
say
actually go and do it.
you
Is the
say
difference.
it's closer to 50-50. So you
Yeah.
didn't give a definite percentage. So that means
I would
you assume
actually
men still
well,
cheat more or women?
if I had to put it, I'm always gonna say men because we had a
Okay.
propensity to want to cheat, but I would say
Yeah.
it's probably like 51 to 49%. And I give it another 40, 50 years because women are dominating like schools and stuff like that. They dominating all this stuff, and they not as sexual, like they're promiscuous. They're more promiscuous than they ever have been or whatever. It's like a freedom for them to talk. Listen to all the rap songs. Think about it. Broke men ain't gonna get this. The average dude is not gonna be able to pull most women. The average girls think they're a 10 now, so they can talk to all these dudes all over the world. So that's what they do now. So when I look at it, because like, no, I'm out here in the streets. Let's just be honest. I'm in the streets, and I'll be sitting there feeling sorry for some dudes because I'll be like, dang, if you average Joe, you just ain't getting laid. This is the way it goes. And the average women, girls that are 3s and 2s is getting more sex than a dude that's like a 7 or 8. Just I straight up see it all the time. So
I think based on, like, from me hearing everything you're saying, the body of your context it's Short asked the question, who cheat more, women or men?
yeah,
But the body of your context, from what I understand, is that you're saying women or have the freedom and choosing more than before to want to have sex with different men. But that don't cover cheating. So you're saying all these women are in relationships and they're cheating on their husband or their boyfriends, or you're just saying women in general are having more sex?
Well, I know for a fact women in general are having more
Women
sex
in
than the
general.
average. Yeah, women in general are having more sex than men. Period. Hands down.
I'm gonna
Since the
go.
beginning of time.
I'm gonna go in on this.
Yeah.
So, colloquially speaking, just from my experience, I would say women. Before I got married, I'm not gonna say all the women that I was with cheated on me, but it's pretty high up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
The percentages are like up there. Hell, when I was single, it was nothing to go to a club and talk to a woman, go home with them, and then a couple weeks later, when the units get back, you see them out there with their little sign talking about "Welcome home, husband," and you know what I mean. Like I think guys get a bad rap with cheating. Like I know plenty of guys that never cheated on their wives, and I know plenty of women that have cheated on their husband several times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The power to cheat, like what Oscar was saying, with a woman, if a woman wants to cheat on her husband, she absolutely can. I mean, hell, they made a movie about it, the Kitchen Pass movie. Remember that movie where all the guys got a kitchen pass to go out one night?
Yep.
And like none of them got any action, and
all the pass,
and like a hall pass is what it was, and
yep,
all the wives was able to go get some.
Yep. And then I'm in the streets and I see this all the time. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, if you're a dude, you really have to be really doing something, have some type of status to really be cheating like that or whatever. Like the average dude has that energy in him to want to cheat, but I'm like that too. It's like I see it all the time. And I was like, man, these girls out here really getting it in.
So let me see if I got this right. Shaw say women cheat more. You say men barely cheat more by like 1%. You know, they still cheat a little bit more. And I say they cheat hell of a lot more than women.
And that's only because I want to hold on to I think that dudes cheat more than women. Because when I'm out here, I still want to look at women like they little angels and sweethearts and stuff like that. But the more and more I see, like all my female, I don't have one female friend that I can really think of that probably hasn't cheated. You know what I'm saying? And when I say cheated, I mean multiply cheated. And that's gonna be bad because they see like, who are your female friends? I'm like, nah, I'm just being honest. But even like I work.
You better hope they don't get on this podcast.
I work.
They're gonna be like, who you talking about?
I've always worked I work in the medical field, so I work around women most of the time. So I hear things that they say, and I'm just like, and I've been in positions where I'm like, oh, that girl would never cheat. And then 5 minutes later, she cheating with some doctor in the back room. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, and the dudes, we want to, but it's just the access ain't there for us.
Let me say this. So this is what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that the women you speak of, Oscar, now we got to be a fly on the wall in the relationship, but I think a woman's disposition is to be serious about her emotions. And so if she fall in love with a guy, she mean that shit. It's not the same with men. Men, we not emotional like that. And our emotions are usually tied to our sexual urges when it comes to a woman anyway. While a woman is sitting there saying, oh, I love you, she ain't thinking about sex like she can live the rest of her life with you because of sex. A man could be like, I love you, knowing that I'm gonna be with this chick, I get to fuck her for the rest of my life. That's how he looking at love.
But
in the comparison.
Here's the counter that day. Who would you say embodies the value of loyalty more, men or women?
When it comes to being in a relationship? Or
just
in general?
Just period. Loyalty.
Women.
Hell no.
I would say men.
I agree. I think, not agree with you, but I agree with what I'm saying. Women.
Loyalty?
Are way more loyal. Yes.
Nah.
Yes. Way more loyal.
Okay, so I would say.
I'll give you an example.
I say bro code is real. Like bro code is real. Like that's a real thing. You know what I mean? Like when you call someone like a brother, like I would call you two, like that's a real thing. Like I would be loyal to you guys, like because y'all my brothers and shit. But women, like, let a woman not call each other on their birthday.
Well, if you're making a specific point about women being more loyal to women versus men being loyal to men,
just period,
it's different.
Just period.
Well, in period, then that's why I'll stick to what I said. I think
women are more loyal.
yeah, overall, women are more loyal in every aspect. For example, it's more women that are religious than men across the board. No matter what religion you in, it could be a cult, it could be a main religion like Christianity, Islam. It's more women in it, and they actually believe that shit. It's because that's a part of being loyal. You want to believe what is presented to you to be in your benefit. Which is the benefit of being loyal.
I
And
don't
then
think that's loyalty. That might be naivety and maybe a little bit of
it could be a
being
lot of
gullible.
things. Yeah, it could be a lot of things
And
to
they're
believe the
emotional,
wrong
so it's
thing,
like,
but you're
Yeah.
still loyal. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm friends with a serial killer, I know he's a serial killer, but he my friend. It's everybody would be like, you stupid for being friends with a serial killer. I get that, which is what your point is. But he's still my friend. So like I won't turn him in or some shit like that. It's still loyalty.
So
not a
You can
serious
be
killer.
loyal to the wrong shit.
like someone
course.
actually, I don't know if it was a joke or but whatever. It might have been a joke. I forgot who it was, but like let's say one of you two bring a girl home and y'all like, hey, this is my girl. Like we'd be like, damn, she look good, Oscar. Damn, she look good, Dave. And then leave it at that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I need to find me
Love you.
one like that. But a girl, if she brings a man home, like everybody, like all her girlfriends is like, damn, he look good. I'm trying to get with him. Like that's how they look at it. They don't say, "Ooh, I need
don't
to
think
find me
that's
one
what
like
would
that
happen,
too."
though.
Shit.
I'm looking at it. I'm always trying to look at I'm always trying to look at it in I factor in a lot of events and situations that people are in, and for example, if I decided to be a leader of any situation, I would have more followers in women. If I decide to be a leader in, let's say, a specific situation, let's say be a principal of a high school, I would have more loyal teachers in women than men. I would have, even if I was in the military and we all military background, if I had like 100 women, female soldiers, and I went through the whole filtering process, like like they did us, basic training to convert us from having a civilian mentality to being a component of a bigger machine, which is what a soldier is. These women, I'm talking about, if I sit there and say, go out there and it could be incoming gunfire, go out there and do this, such and such, they would do it with no question compared to a man. Of course, we know you have loyalty in men too. But I think, I done seen some stuff, I done heard some stuff, and like people have a thing where she love watching these documentaries about like men in leadership positions. It's always the women. Like a gang of these motherfuckers just like complete servitude to this person, 100%, no questions asked, servitude to this one guy.
Are they married?
And they married, some of them are married and some of them are not. And that's how bad it is. Some of them would still have servitude being married to another man.
Hoes ain't loyal, dog.
They not loyal.
Loyal to the person. They may not be loyal to the husband. They loyal to somebody, and that's the point. Who's more loyal to? If you could say that too. But if they have a higher loyalty to something, they still have loyalty.
Maybe their kids.
So I would just.
I kids, yes. Like they kids, they would die for their kids. But would my wife die for me? Babe, if you're watching this, I love you.
Y'all have, that's the dynamics that y'all have.
I think most women would probably just do that. They'll die for their kids, but they not dying for no dude. They just
I think if a woman care for their dude, she would.
But a dude would die for like their wife.
Yeah, the whole family.
The whole family.
I don't know, man. I think a woman would risk her life for.
Is Pilar in there with you?
No, she at work, but I think she'll risk her life.
You can ask her right now. Pilar, would you die for me?
She get home, I ask her. She's still at work.
My wife will laugh at me. She look at me and be like,
like, I got the kids. You better save everything else. Now, I even know that. It's like I wouldn't even expect a woman, like, unless she just happened to be sitting on the gun and like, yeah, so here you go.
Why you wouldn't expect her? That's crazy. You wouldn't expect her to try to risk her life for you?
Nah, I expect her to look at the kids and go, I'm getting out of here. Women and children first. Oscar, you the man. Do what you're supposed to do. That's what I would expect her to do. And if I was really in a situation I wouldn't really want my woman to try to, cause like, what can she really do unless she got a gun too or something like that? I'm
Damn,
like, babe, go to safety. Let let
she can
let
do
us
something.
men do this what we got to do or whatever. That's it.
All right, so we had what I know your stance, Dave. What you think, Oscar? What was your stance
What's that?
again?
On I think it's very close. Like it's probably like
You
51% men, 49% women that are cheating. But
It-
I think the number's gonna flip really fast.
Dave, you what, by 70-30?
No, I think 80-20.
80-20. Oh, damn. 80-20?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given we're still on men cheating versus women, right?
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think given if you could, this is an easy experiment. You set up the ideal tempting scenario. You set it up, kind of like putting a cake on the table for a toddler. And toddlers already, provided that the toddler know what a cake is because they've tasted the cake before, they know how sweet it is. They're likely to mess with that cake. You create the ideal scenario to see who are likely to cheat more, a man versus woman. Hands down, 80-20, that man will do it. I'll give you an example. You take a preacher, for example, which is supposed to be, the kind that's aware of sin, and cheating is supposed to be a sin to Christians. So you put him in the right scenario with like the baddest chick that most men would agree is a bad chick, young, pretty, long hair, pretty face, whatever, hips, all that. And then let's say his wife is out of town. Let's say he been at home for about a week. So he horny, he can't really do nothing. Let's say she happened to be the new neighbor in the house, and she invite him over to fix something. And she come up, but before she invite him, she come knocking on his door with a nice outfit on, like some not necessarily booty shorts, but enough to be revealing. And he horny, he ain't did whatever, whatever to nothing to get, to mitigate that yet, like jacking off. Man, I'm telling you, he will likely cheat way faster. Now you flip it and put a woman in a scenario like that. I think they won't. I think they'll sit there and maybe if they thought of it, they'll have enough loyalty or enough of just logic to go, you know what? I love my husband. I'm not gonna do this. This dude is really handsome. I'm not just gonna give this dude. I just met him. Man, you know how quick we'll fuck a chick and just met her. We don't care if we just met her. Women ain't like that. They ain't gonna just go, I'm gonna fuck you because I just met you. On just that
Wait
premise.
a minute.
Oscar could,
yeah, they will.
he's got some he's got some evidence
Oscar don't mean nothing. What his
that might roll the other way.
Nothing. I know most women don't do what he do. Most women don't do what that chick did with him. I've actually had one night stands like that, but I know most women don't do
nothing
that.
with me. I'm a man of God.
What?
Well, I'm just saying that these whole one night stands. I've been there. Shaw probably been there. Yeah, I think Shaw told me about them. Women just ain't gonna just sleep easily like that, but men will with somebody.
Yeah, they do. Bro.
Well, I agree with you on this day. Like if a man is doing everything right to his woman or whatever, I think it's a lot harder for her wanting to break off and want to cheat. Like
That's
if he's
my
doing
point.
everything that's supposed to be right or whatnot, or
If it's
everything
like
that she
in a
needs,
relationship, yeah,
then it's harder for women to kind of break and cheat like that. But now in today's society, is you got a bunch of broken down relations. What I mean by that is like,
oh yeah, it's easier for them.
A woman to date a dude and be like, okay, this dude, he look good, but he ain't got his money right. So she gonna go smash whoever got their money right just because he doing something different. Or she'll go, oh, this dude got his money right, but he don't give me that oomph like that thug dude do or whatnot. And she will resource herself out to all these different dudes nowadays or whatever. So it's not like, I think nowadays it's very rare that you find a woman who's like, she finds this dude that she's just so in love with and she just stick with him. Most of the women I look around now and see is like, okay, they got little bits and pieces from all these different dudes. And I'm just like, girl, why don't you just be with that dude? And you know what I'm saying? He do this. This dude over here do this. And I'm just like, what? Like it's hard to fathom now because that's not what we want to see. But it's real out here, dog. It's real.
I should have prefaced that earlier, Oscar. In an ideal relationship, should have been, maybe Shaw should have started off with that too. Then if both of them love each other, who will break that bond? I think it'll be a man when it comes to cheating.
We're gonna I'm gonna end this right here. I'm gonna say one last thing. This is obviously talking about American society. Other societies are complete. The societal norms are completely different. Like I saw a thing where like Japanese women just as long as it's with a prostitute, they don't care. Like for real.
Oh yeah, I seen something like that too.
So and then
I
like
thought that was kind of cool that girl said. I'm like, damn, I wish she was my girl.
of course, in like an Arabic culture, like you can just have as many as you can afford,
4 to 5,
as many as you can afford.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next topic. Where we at? We are on. Ooh, this is gonna be a juicy one, guys. By the way, before I move on, if y'all got anything, the people that are watching, if y'all want to say something in the comments, go ahead, flame us in the comments, man. Light it up. You know, this is what we're here for. We're probably gonna read every comments because right now we ain't got no subscribers, so it's you probably gonna get
one coming. We looking for. We coming for.
It's gonna be as personal. It's gonna be personal. We're gonna respond all the time. So, but anyways, so next topic should Black people get reparations?
Oh man, I wish Phil was here for that one.
Yeah, Phil, you got.
You could go.
Is he still on the phone?
On this stuff.
Is he still on the
he's
phone?
still on the phone. He's still on the phone.
We can go over it again, but you can go take this one.
All right, I'm gonna start off.
Do y'all want to say that from when Phil get on the phone?
We could. I actually think we should.
Yeah, we'll save it for Phil. We'll save it for Phil.
In case y'all didn't know, Phil is our pro Black brother. He's our who's that? Dr. Umar?
Hear y'all, and it never stopped on my end. So I don't know. I might be something over here
for both of us. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Was it on my good side? I don't know.
All right, so where we at on time?
Man, we can't let David get away with not having that conversation about the mistake.
Oh, it's happening. This is going on next. We're gonna push the reparations talk for when Phil gets on. So next question is going to be all right, so let's let y'all say the shit, I froze up.
What the fuck?
Now you froze up on me, so yeah.
Hold up.
I can hear you though. Like can you hear him still, Dave?
I can't see him, but I can hear him.
My camera died, guys.
Oh, okay.
Man, and y'all was sitting there telling me about cameras.
Hey, if we would have kicked off on time,
yeah, we still got an invitation.
It would have been perfect.
We did a whole call. You know what your tag name is?
Hold on, let me see if I turn it back.
How your camera die, short? Ain't it hooked? Don't it got is it hooked up?
I didn't charge.
Oh, so it's wireless or something?
Text it to the group chat.
Yeah,
Phil, the one that Shaw sent you the stuff through. Text it to the group chat so he'll know exactly what it is.
So basically, this for the rest of the video is gonna be just my picture. So.
Oh, okay.
Really, short?
My camera died.
Oh, that's all right.
Really? Y'all the two dudes who balling out of control, talking about $4,000 cameras.
Hey, I'm broke.
4K cameras.
Day. So
what the heck?
So today I was supposed to charge my camera up, but I had to go take my wife's 48 Plex. What? I got to take my wife's car to the Cadillac dealership, and that shit took forever. Phil. I'm about to add him.
Mm-hmm. He about to add you now, Phil.
All right. All right, let's go.
All right. So this next topic was brought to me by a very, very special person, one of my really close friends. I just want to get y'all take on this. And I'm gonna let that person give me some context of what he meant, just to see if he can clarify it and dig himself out of the hole he's gonna put himself in. All right. If I make a mistake, it's not my fault. I'm gonna say that again. If I make a mistake, it's not my fault.
Can you put Master P beat behind that?
If anyone makes a mistake, it's not their fault. So that's, if I just hear that, because we had this argument a while ago about words have context, just the word itself. If you say what he just said, the context of that word means if you make a mistake, it's just not your fault. So, but I'm gonna hand it over to Cosmic Clarity 250 and let him do his thing.
All right. So now, for lack of a more descriptive statement, that was the statement I said because my vocabulary ain't that big, which I always mention to people I talk to. So when the human mind, just like any part of the human body or any creature on the planet, intends to do some consciously of, and then they're not successful because of their body,
Stupid.
then it wasn't them intending to make a mistake or make an error. They just did because of them. So, for example, if you remember to go to the store to buy a loaf of bread, you tell yourself, I'm gonna go buy a loaf of bread at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. become present, and you don't remember that you were supposed to go to the store to buy a loaf of bread.
Hold
So,
on.
what
Phil said he's on.
Phil, you see Pilar?
Hey y'all.
What's up, Pilar?
No,
Hey,
I don't
Billy.
see
Is
it.
that
Pilar said, "Hey, Phil."
Oscar over there?
That's Oscar. That's Sean.
What's up,
That's
Billy?
Phil right there.
Phil, you gotta get you a light,
I
bro.
didn't even recognize him.
Oh,
he has
yeah,
a
yeah.
full
Gotta get you a
beard.
face light.
I gotta fix my light. Hey, Pilar.
He said, "Hey, Pilar."
What's up, my people? We out here.
What?
We out
Yeah,
We
here.
out
we
here.
got it
We
now.
out here.
Okay, there we go. Put y'all on the big screen. Put y'all on
Phil,
the
what
big
you got
screen.
3 monitors for, Phil?
Oh, I work from home, so
Hey, Phil.
Okay.
Phil got hair
Phil
too, y'all.
high tech and
Oh
shit.
yeah, Phil still got hair.
Phil
Yeah,
got hair
yeah.
too.
oh, yeah.
Phil probably got the least amount of grades. You got grades, right?
Hell yeah.
I ain't got no hair. Like
Nah, I think
freshly
Phil
so
got the
clean,
least.
clean.
That's right, man.
What's
Good
good?
seeing you, man.
Go ahead, introduce yourself, Phil.
Go by Portier Plex, you know, one of the little squad here. We all kind of grew up same area, the Northwest H. Various backgrounds, but find a way to relate. Gonna make it real interesting for y'all.
That's
Our
what I'm
diverse
talking about.
perspectives.
Yep.
All right.
Just
Cool.
just so y'all know, Phil is literally my first friend I had in Carverdale. So
Cool.
yeah, he lived down the street
Yeah.
from my grandma. So
That's cool.
That's funny. You should say that, man.
you didn't know that, did you?
Uh,
He was literally my first friend I had in Carverdale.
Damn.
that's cool. That because that was and I'd probably say the same thing. Maybe Derek Walker back. Well, he was further down by Windfern, but I got into a fight with him.
Hey, I'm Boston
He's
Pig.
probably my only friend I haven't had a fight with, Shot.
You know? Hey,
Hey,
I think
I'm gonna tell y'all, when me and Shad used to go out,
Mhm.
Shad would always pull or have more women pull him than any man I ever seen, and I used to wonder, like, damn, I know I get home. What's going on here? So that made me up my spit game, man.
Yeah. Still,
And
Phil,
he-
you had a classic spit game though. That time we was at the mall, and that one girl and she was with her parents, and Phil was like, "I ain't never seen that before." He was like, "Hey, let me talk to your daughter for a second."
I remember that.
That's a classic, man. That's a
Phil
classic.
had massive balls. I thought he was playing when he said he was gonna do that.
nah,
Yeah,
Phil-
massive
Phil-
balls, boy.
I've had so
Just
It's funny
He's
thing-
just straight. Oh, keep going,
funny
Sean.
thing is y'all don't understand, like Phil had this like just air about him
Yep.
that
Everybody.
even like when I moved away, when I'm with the Lango Creek,
Don't know where.
one of my girlfriends was like, I'm having this party, and I was like, can I invite my homies? And she was like, yeah, you can invite him. And I was like, I'm gonna invite Phil. And they're like, what's his last name? I was like, it's just Phil, like Madonna. And like they called you that, like Phil like Madonna for like. Matter of fact, last time I talked to her, they were like, hey, you talked to Phil like Madonna?
Funny,
Oh
man.
my goodness.
I met some chicks from Langham Creek, and I wondered how in the hell I used to have girls like call me. I didn't know who they were. They went to different schools.
Yep.
This was like junior high, and I'd be like, "You got a girlfriend?" I'm like, "Who are you?" How you get this number? It's funny.
Phil, hey, we got a good topic.
All right,
And
yeah.
I had to make sure I protest that we gotta say this topic for when you on. 'Cause,
Oh, that's real.
it's,
All right.
so-
This is gonna be the last big one, y'all. We probably gonna have to skip y'all a little.
wait, hold up. Did Oscar get my point about what I said earlier? Because we can move on.
we're gonna move
Yeah,
on.
we can argue about that
We'll
later.
bring that one back,
Point.
huh?
Are you kidding me?
We're gonna bring it
Okay.
back. We'll
Nah,
bring it
get to a
back.
point.
Let's get to
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
This is a good one. All right, Phil.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so this topic is going to be, should black people get reparations? Floor is open.
I'm gonna go last.
Gracious.
I'm gonna chop mine up or whatever. My first, I'm just gonna say yes, and then later on I'll probably break it down. But I'm gonna say
You
yes.
should just go ahead and do it now.
ahead, go
Let Phil formulate. Let Phil formulate.
Okay.
He just got on. Let him formulate his ideas on this. Okay.
Oh, okay. So initially, back in the day, I probably would have said no, but now I say yes because they have given reparations to other people.
Oscar
Oh,
froze.
this nigga right here. These niggas with these 4K cameras.
Nah, he good. He back. He back.
Okay. I'm like, man, how I freeze and I can see everybody moving and talk. They've given reparations other times, like say for the Holocaust, they've given reparations. They're giving it to the Japanese people. They're giving it to like the Tuskegee Airmen and stuff like that or whatever. So I don't see why one of the biggest group of people that y'all oppressed for the longest time, you couldn't give reparations to or whatever. So I'm gonna keep it short for now, but they've done, I mean, even the Native Americans, they're giving it to us. So it's like, why not give it to the descendants of slaves or whatever? It just don't make sense for them not to do it. So, but go ahead, somebody.
You want me to go, Phil, or you still want to formulate?
No, you can definitely go, but I would like also to throw that question in there.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they? I think that was important. Why wouldn't they give black people?
Well, let me
go ahead, Dave.
Let me say this because we're gonna give Phil the floor on this one because I think Phil, this is more of a subject matter. It means more probably to y'all except me. I'm probably the least this subject matter means more to me. So I'm gonna just say it. I don't think they should give black people reparations because of slavery, but I am a supporter for help like helping somebody after some damage has been done, helping a certain group of people or certain subjects, and certain individual. Kind of like if you falsely imprison a person who was actually innocent the whole time for like 20 years. Yes, I do believe you need to give him something after you let him out, for because he was there for that whole time. He took 20 years of his life. So yeah, give him $5 million or something like that. But black, as far as slavery, the descendants of slaveries, I don't think we should give the descendants of slaves nothing. The slaves, obviously, if the slaves was here, they wouldn't be here. Of course, we wouldn't be here if they was here. But the descendants, I don't think so. I think that's just another wave, certain things happen to humans in waves throughout the history of the earth or whatever, even with not just natural events, but just people treating people all fucked up, kind of like the Roman Empire versus Genghis Khan when he was ruling half the world, whatever. It just happens like that. People, Hitler tried to do some shit. Everything come in waves. So you just roll with the punches and do the best you can. So I don't think that the descendants of slaves should get reparations. But yeah, that's my point.
All right. Well, I absolutely think that black people should get reparations, and really only because there's precedence for it. Like Oscar was saying, you have the survivors of the Holocaust that got reparations. Guess what? Like, I hope I'm probably gonna get canceled before I even get started for this one. But
Can't talk about them people.
We didn't do the Holocaust.
Right.
Why did we pay them reparations? But we did. Native Americans are getting reparations. The Japanese that were in internment camps are getting reparations.
Hey, say hey to my daughter. Phil,
Hey,
look, this is my daughter. She big now. Say hey.
Hey, is that
she's
Tiana
like,
or-
I'm done.
That's Savannah. Say, she
Tiana?
kind
I'm
of
done.
shy.
What's
Say
up?
hey.
Hey.
She just woke up. Anyway, my bad.
No, you
Charlotte.
good. You good. And especially this was like the tide, the straw that broke the camel's back for me is the United States government did pay reparations for slavery. They did. But guess who
Yes.
they paid it to?
To the slave owners.
To the slave owners.
To
So
the slave
Well, that was
owners.
bad. Yeah.
so like
Yep.
it just don't make no sense that we
Yeah.
have it. And if you can't make right what the United States government allowed to be wrong, through the individuals that they wronged, then you do pay their descendants, because all of us were affected by that, and we have been affected by it even 100 years after slavery had ended. So
let me jump in on that real quick. What Shaw said too, because that is a funny thing. Like I don't know if y'all remember 40 Acres and a Mule. That was supposed to be for the freed slaves.
mm-hmm.
I forgot which president, Abraham Lincoln or some. Don't get me mixed up with the presidents, but somebody got killed. Whoever came in after that killed that order and changed the order to, instead of giving the slaves 40 acres and a mule, the slave owners got all that land and everything that the slaves were supposed to get. And so they actually had set it up for them to get reparations, killed it, and gave it to the slave owners. So
yeah.
if that ain't a slap in the face, you know.
There's been a lot of that going on too, not just that.
I'll tell you, and I agree. I agree with. I don't agree with you, Dave. I'll say that.
But yes, it might be a lot.
And I'll tell you why. Just
it might be a lot of that.
Yeah, but just to go off of what you said, those instances that you mentioned in history, just like the instances that Rashad and Oscar acknowledged, people have been paid for the same thing. There are precedents for those atrocities to man, if you would. So yeah, that might be something that happens in history, but as man has some sort of moral, or tries to have some type of moral reckoning, that's one of the ways that they try to make right by their transgressions against other men. For whatever reason, they blatantly done everything but that, knowing that we are, as Rashad said, still alluded to. And let me ask y'all, do y'all want me to refer to you by your screen names or real names? Cool?
My real name. I'm cool.
I'm good with real name.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So,
I advertise. I'm a real estate agent. If y'all want to
okay.
look up my name, I'll sell you a house in Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
So Rashad,
Yeah.
Oscar, Dave, Phil here. I initially leaned towards Oscar's response, where at first I didn't believe they should. I don't think it's time for that, or didn't think it was time for that, because we didn't have any infrastructure set up, and so that money would basically go right back where it came from within a matter of probably months, a majority of it anyway. So if it was the smartest thing they could do was give it to us now and get it right back, much like that land that they promised us in 40 acres and mule legislation or whatever. But yeah, I think that at this point in time, there's enough of us so-called woke and prosperity-minded individuals who, in doing something like that, because we're talking about basically trillions of dollars being distributed amongst those people or our people, and that having a significant impact on the economy, as it stands. And when you look at it, I look at there's one study that was done a couple years ago by the banks that said that the economic racism that America has exhibited just over the last 10 years was enough to take us out of not completely take us out of the deficit, but it amounted to a little more than $1 trillion. So that is to say that America would rather the United States would rather eat itself economically, starve its people economically, and to do right economically by those that they've wronged, which is very interesting. And when we have people who still don't believe that this is a fundamentally racist country, when not only our practices and legislation and the large demographic that came out and with Trump's election that kind of demonstrated, hey, those values are here to stay, and in fact being passed down, just guised in different ways. So not to go too far off the subject, but if there was, and this might get into why they don't, with it being a global economy now and us being able to recognize markets that they at one point wouldn't invest in unless they were capitalizing off of or even raping, pretty much, for lack of a better word, such as America, such as South America. You talk about Venezuela with the largest deposits of gas this hemisphere, or oil, I should say, this hemisphere. It makes sense that they wouldn't give us as a people that amount of money, because we would look towards those communities and build the infrastructure not only there but here. We're talking about building our own hospitals, building our own schools, from the people that have the mind, the insight, and the network to suggest, hey, we're not going to get what we've wanted from them. Let's build it ourselves. I think that's their greatest fear. Okay, well, if that happens, where does that leave us? We don't have a consumer class, or we don't have as large of a consumer class as we would have, because now they're providing their own opportunities.
Mm.
So yeah, overall, I think the whole reparations thing, while a great deal of us would probably give it back because we're gonna go get our Maybachs and all that stuff, but I would go on to say that if there was some committee that said, okay, we're going to formulate this reparations committee, and I think there is one, and we're going to apply pressure so that we do get these, and ultimately, okay, government reconciles and does promises that, I still think that it should be leveraged to the extent that you get it upon completing certain standards, or there being certain standards in place. It would apply completely to descendants of the enslaved, so no new immigrants like we have a large influx of now that can just say, "Hey, I'm black, can I get it?"
Right,
No.
right.
So I think what Tariq Nasheed coins as foundational Black Americans would be the term used to describe those, and people who identify as Black. I would say going back a few generations, which I think kind of complicates that as a racial issue, because much like the Native American thing and the Dawes role, there are people who claim to be Native American or Indian and really don't identify as such, and really don't, but have all the benefits, but don't identify as such.
Right.
Ill-gotten blood or whatever. But I think if there's a smart way to do it, yeah, of course. And I think that may be just the jump start we need in establishing a certain level of the equity, as opposed to this false equivalency of equality, if you would.
Right.
Mm.
Well said.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Do y'all?
What do
I got a
y'all-
quick question.
Go ahead.
Do y'all think it should be a monetary handout? Because I
Nope.
don't personally think it should
I
be.
think
money,
it should
like
just be
You don't
No,
even
hold
think
up,
we
I-
should get it, Dave.
no. If let's say if it happened, I still have an opinion on that.
Okay.
So I don't think it should be a cash out. I think it should be kind of like how welfare, they give you food stamps, but not food stamps. It's they give you like some kind of paperwork or documentation say you get this benefit, and you can get this benefit for a certain period of time. You know what I mean? So like if they was giving you land, this documentation say this is your land and you still got to pay taxes on it,
Right.
or something like that.
I looked at it kind of like, depending on, since it's for the descendants, I would say like tuition for school for 4 years, you don't have to pay. Business loans or business grants, you don't have to pay it back. Like say you need to start a new business or something, they give you, I'm just using an arbitrary number, $50,000 for this. To buy a new home, they'll just give you whatever, but it has to be used specifically for what they're giving it to you. They can't I don't think it would be beneficial if they just came and gave you the money in your hand, because it'd end up like that Dave Chappelle
I'm rich.
episode. Yep.
Maybe
That boy Quan got
Quan.
hit that
Hey, it
got
was
that lucky
Tron,
dice
yeah.
hand. Tron,
So-
yeah.
So I've actually had multiple conversations about this, and there's a lot of pushback from especially white America because they feel is like, oh, I didn't own any slaves. Why should I have to pay? You know, and I told them, you know, I've like, hey, that's just not how government works at any level. Like you're not
Right.
personally paying a black person. Like it's coming out of the tax dollars, and I mean,
Which means they still are.
no,
Shard.
uh,
We all contribute to the tax
you're
dollars.
contributing, but you're not paying for it, right? So,
But they still have a word if they're contributing.
but
You get it?
that's not how government works. You know what I mean?
So if all four of us built a house and
Yeah,
we
let me finish
used
that.
our own bricks,
Yeah, let me finish.
I would say, hey, I want to use my bricks a certain way, just like Oscar would want to use his bricks a certain way.
But that's your
So they
house.
should
That's
have a
not the
say-so.
American government. That's not how we have elected representatives that decide how our money gets spent.
Yes, but it's still because of us.
Well, I understand that, but you're not. What I'm saying is you're not paying them directly. You have
Okay,
you have
that's your
a
point.
elected
Okay.
representative that they sit in this place called Washington D.C. and they vote on bills and they vote on how those bills get funded. Like, and we all put
Stand
in
up.
once a year towards that funding. But
Hold on, so come here. Hurry up. She wanted to look and see who Phil was. Come here.
they got
Hurry
all
up.
these cameos going on in the background.
This is my youngest Phil. Get over here behind me.
All
Behind me.
that
Oh, there you go.
hair.
We can't
She's
see her
my
'cause
youngest.
The light is so dark.
Look at all
I
that
kind
hair.
of see her.
Yeah. She's shy. Anyway, Mike, keep going, Sean.
But
I disagree though, but
all
keep
right,
going.
cracking. But I don't think that we should. I don't think we can sell a monetary payout. I don't for that reason because there's going to be so much pushback because
Yeah.
there are people that are like I don't agree with it and that's my money so boom. But I think there are programs like Oscar said that we can do that that'll be easier to sell. And I think maybe it's because I have a little bias, but one of the best ways to pass on generational wealth, Dave.
I don't like that either. Passing on generational wealth.
Dave,
Also.
I was gonna say we can hear your
Your
wife.
background. Yeah.
Oh,
Your
you
background.
said-
We can
Hey,
hear
y'all
everybody in
being
the
too
background.
loud. My bad, y'all.
You good?
Shh, keep it down. Okay.
So
My bad, Sean.
no, I'm saying one of the ways that people have passed on generational wealth was home ownership and owning land and stuff like that. And it's strange when you get around people that they'd be like, oh my parents just passed away or my grandma just passed away, and you're like, oh, I feel bad for you, and they're like, yeah, but it was their time. They left me like $700,000, and I'm like, what? Like that's
Yep.
just something that I don't hear in the black
In our
community
community.
like
Not
at
at
all.
all.
And that has been going on for generations that we haven't been able to partake in, not only because of slavery, because of Jim Crow and us not being able to buy a home and not being able to pass on that generational wealth that's been accrued through home ownership and land ownership. And that's why I think I would propose maybe some type of government loan backing program, like how VA loans are. Like you can go out and get a VA
Definitely.
loan, or like the Homestead Act that does tax deductions. I say maybe the generation before us, like our parents, be completely tax exempt for home houses, and then like our generation afterwards have a deduction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then have that the ability to go out and get a home loan where you don't have to come up with like 20% down.
Wait, let me ask you a question. You mean, so let's say your children should get a reduction because you got a reduction, like be tax exempt in certain aspects like homeowner, land, whatever.
No. Just a deduction. Deduction, not exemption. So like our parents, like Miss Harding and my mom, like they would be exempt. You know what I mean? Because they're closer to the actual
The lineage of the slave.
Yeah, I mean they grew up during Jim Crow, so
Yeah. Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Well, I think that senior citizens should just be exempt from a lot of things anyway when it comes to finance. They about to kick the bucket anyway. It's like that could be a weight off their shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have exemptions, but sticking to the whole slave thing or whatever, I agree with what Rashad is saying. Like, I look at like programs like that, get houses, like say if the, depending on how far down the lineage it is, you're the like say us or whatever, you might get loan forgiveness for school or whatever. Say you took out a bunch of loans to go to school or whatever, but your parents are passed or whatever, but they can still verify that you're a descendant of a slave. Then you don't have to pay, because they trying to do that now anyway with like a lot of the school loans and stuff. So why not give it to the descendant of slaves or whatever? But that, to me, that's a big one though, for as the houses go and stuff like that. If you can give them some type of exemption or something like that, or a deduction or whatever or something like that, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Where's the cutoff though? Where's the cutoff? Meaning how long? Well, hold on, Phil. There has to be a cutoff. So what generation from now in the future can't get shit when it comes to the reparation issue or whatever?
Where's there a cutoff for the Native Americans?
Nope.
I mean,
It ain't no
So
cutoff
what
for
you
them.
saying? You saying they keep getting the benefits as long as America is America? So you saying black folks,
So
the descendants of black folks gotta
as long
keep
as you
getting
have
benefits?
a percentage of that blood line or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, this is
like
out of
it-
control. I disagree.
The,
But keep
the
going.
Native Americans still, if you can prove that you whatever percentage of a Native American, you still get the benefit.
But
Eventually,
they can't
your
expand in their
bloodline is
land and
gonna.
their benefits, Oscar. They
said what?
can't expand. Like right now, Native American reservations, Native American, anything that is sponsored by the government
Mhm.
that they get as a benefit that us regular people don't, they
Mhm.
can't keep expanding with it. Like in real world terms, you can't keep expanding your land. Sure, you could buy land. You're a citizen,
Right, but they
but
still
you
get
can't
the
be
benefit.
expanding it because of your Native American background. Because if there's no cutoff, they can just keep expanding until now they own everybody's land. So what is the cutoff with
I'm not
helping out
understanding your
the
argument, Gary.
descendant?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't either.
Hold up. Let's say, for example, you help out all the black people right now. You give them an acre and a mule, or we'll just say in terms of benefits, like they get free property. We'll just say that they get a free acre. Then they have children. Their children don't want their parents' land. They want their own land because they're still descendants of.
I don't think you're understanding what we're saying, Dave.
Yeah.
When do you stop giving them the help? I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. You can't just keep giving generation after generation help because
but we
of their
do.
ancestors.
But we do.
That's what they're doing. We're saying that's what they're doing already, so we should get the same treatment.
They're not doing that with Native Americans.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they
No,
are.
they're
They're
not.
still doing that with they're still doing that with Israelites or Jews.
Apparently, y'all don't know what.
Yeah.
Apparently, you don't know what expansion means. If you keep giving people, you know how many? What's the percentage right now? I think I went over it before. It's 26% African Americans in the U.S. 26%. That number gonna grow because one, minorities tend to have more children. So there will be more descendants of slavery, which means you have to pay out more land, all these benefits.
I think your numbers on. I
keep
think
going
it's like
down.
14, but
Okay, we'll just say 14.
go
You
ahead.
can't just keep in it, but it's expanded. So you can't. And land, is finite. You keep once you buy somebody own it.
Dave,
There's no more. There's less land now.
We're not arguing to give away land.
I'm making a point about benefits.
But
you can't just keep
argue,
giving benefits.
You can't argue our points and then change our points.
No, it's still benefits. Whatever the benefits you're talking about, you just can't keep giving it.
But we do from Native Americans.
No, we don't. Just keep giving it.
Yes.
Eventually, they
Native Americans can go to school for free. They still get benefits from the government. They continue to get benefits.
Well, I disagree with that. If that's true,
Yeah,
if it's true,
it is true.
I disagree because that's not fair for the other people that are now American citizens, not just the ones that's been here.
It's about being fair, and
that's not being fair though. At some point, it's just a certain group of people just keep getting benefits. Had nothing to do with the Native Americans at that time that was being oppressed. They're just descendants. They didn't even ask to be here, but yet they're getting all these benefits.
Discussion around fairness is centered that these other groups are getting benefits, and we're the only group that isn't. So if we're going to make it fair, then make it so that every group, including ADOS, African descendants of slaves, get these same benefits. So that's the nexus of the discussion.
Fine with people getting benefits, it just has to be a cutoff at some point. But y'all acting like, oh, it's indefinite. It's just right.
Let me
be like that.
give you this analogy, right? So when we talk about the effect on people, we're not talking about that effect ending with those people that were directly transgressed. We're talking about the effect of the generations subsequently. So if we kill a father, then those children grow up without a father. Those grandchildren grow up without a grandfather. And you have, based off what we know about, let's just say manhood, fatherhood, or what have you, you have a certain economic potential that is lost due to the life being lost of that individual. So in part, the reparations pay, because we're not even talking about the aspect of the and I'll get to my point as why I feel like there should be a cash and not, well, let's just say an option of a cash out.
Go ahead.
Uh, we're not even talking about the atrocities that we still deal with today as an effect of slavery. Uh, we mentioned the Black Codes. We mentioned Jim Crow. We could talk about redlining. We could talk about any systematic form
Just
of oppression
pure
as a result
propaganda
of,
against our people,
you know what I'm saying? So, and then, okay, even more so than that, the larger aspect of all of this is it's an economic reform. So you have to talk about money, um, because you're trying to atone basically. And while life is priceless, you're trying to put a figure on life potentially could have produced, which is, you can't put a figure on it. But to say that there is some math around it, and I think I've heard figures, shot Oscar, maybe y'all have heard. I've heard figures like 3 trillion or something to that effect, maybe even more, to just be paid out now. That's not to say, down the road and the lives of our children, the lives of our grandchildren. But in just saying that reparations be given out. See, because I think I look at the systems that are in place. There are going to be systems that siphon that money back. There's going to be systems that say, oh, well, these are the qualifications to get that. No, you don't qualify. You don't get it. Those things are going to take place under the current system that we live in, because systems preserve itself. You can call it what you want, white supremacy, white fragility, whatever. So in determining or allowing the self-determination of us as a people, then part of that, I think, is giving us the choice of how do we want to be retributed for, I guess that's the right word. How do we want to be compensated for this experience that still affects us today? Well, everybody ain't gonna build a community. Some people are just gonna be consumers, and you have to, and an economy needs consumers, so you have to allow them to be that, and the economy grows from their spending. So yeah, some people are gonna want to live in Section 8 and get those payments and go and buy every new pair of Jordans that come out. The same way that when I think it was Jefferson, when he was president, he allotted the land through the what was it?
the Oklahoma land grab.
No, I'm talking about the Louisiana Purchase.
Okay, yeah.
Louisiana Purchase. Yeah.
That land was initially allotted for agrarian families. So you didn't have to go to not necessarily a city, but let's just say a metropolitan area and work and develop this industrial revolution. You could just have your little land and work your plot of land and take care of your family. And I think that a great deal of our population, and I know a great deal of our population would enjoy that type of liberty, because we see a resurgence in people growing not farms, but gardens in their backyard, and people, having this suspicion about what they're putting in food and all. And some people don't want to be a part of the system, and we have to give them choice in doing that.
Let me speak on it on something for you real quick. Okay, let me. So I think white folks, or the European who who was the main, who was the blame for the Native Americans, who was the blame for the American slave trade. Those people are dead and gone. Their descendants are living presently. I think that throughout the years, going from 1860 to now, which is about three generations later, from an actual slave, is enough for those children of those white slave owners and the people that oppressed the Indians, the Native Americans. It's enough time for everybody to get right. The white folks have demonstrated that. They allowed benefits for Native Americans. Y'all already spoke on that. They allow benefits for Black folks. We are literally citizens who's afforded the same opportunities as anybody else, and you can see it throughout, our culture. I'm talking about American culture, and I think we need to keep going. Everybody's assimilated. I think we just need to keep going with eliminating all the stupid shit that's still going on, like crime, religion, and shit like that. But as far as trying to help the descendants of some people who was oppressed, like it's a gang of people who's been oppressed throughout the years. Phil, he know about history. Shaw know about history, and I'm pretty sure you know about history, Oscar. It's been a gang of oppression throughout the world, globally. And and of course,
but
okay, go.
Just real quick, I'll jump in real quick. There has been a gang of oppression, but the thing is, the way the government oppressed certain people, they came back and gave reparations to all those people. We were one of the biggest.
Not in every case. Not in every case. But all you gotta do is mention one, and that's all that matters. It'll fit your point.
Right.
But keep going.
Oh, that's pretty much it. Like we were the biggest group, and they actually set it up for us to get those reparations, and then they just pulled it back and then never revisited. Yeah, never revisited or nothing. And to make it a bigger slap in the face, like I don't know if Phil was on here when we was talking about that one, but they gave it to the people, the very people who did it, made those same people that were oppressing them grow even faster, because all the stuff that the slaves were supposed to get, they gave it to their owners. So it was a bigger slap in the face.
And that which they didn't, because if you look at Reconstruction, we did own a lot more land. We had more wealth then as a people than we even do now. We've actually lost wealth. Going from 1/2 of 1%. So, and you hear about the numerous stories, Louisiana in particular, Virginia, North Carolina, of these massacres where they systematically went around and killed all the farmers and landowners and had them migrating between the states to that land. And what's funny is I worked, I'll just say I worked a job, right? And a bunch of my coworkers were white guys about my age, maybe a little younger. And a majority, let's just say out of 10 guys, 7 of these guys had rural homesteads of hundreds of acres. When I tell you every weekend, what are you doing? Going home. Where's home? Midland, Texas. My family owns like 200 acres out there, and my uncle lives down one street. So you can't even go down this street without running into an uncle, a cousin, a grandma, an aunt. We don't really recognize. You don't even recognize how much land there is, the wealth that land generates, and the amount and the generations, which it hasn't been that long. People think 100 years is long. That's a lifetime. Maybe not so much now, but the income generating potential of that land and it being passed down over, let's just say, these 3 generations, their grandma, their father, their mom, or them, it allows you, like Rashad alluded to, a great starting place as far as capital goes.
Hold on. Let me say something. Okay, I disagree. First off, just let y'all know, I disagree with people even buying a lot of land. What I would consider, let's say, an acre is 4 lots. I think if you buy more than an acre, that's just too much if you claiming to be a team player as a U.S. citizen. The reason how I know this, you crunch the numbers. For example, let's say a person, however they get this, let's say a person buy 100 acres, which is a hell of a lot of land. But if everybody have the ability to buy 100 acres, all the new generations, because populations increase throughout time globally. Okay, our population is around 300 and some plus million. Eventually, it's gonna be 400 plus million. But if everybody owning 100 acre, one single individual owning 100 acres, how is that fair for a kid that's born that happen to be born in, let's say 2035, and he grew up and do all the right things, get a good job, he want to purchase land. Now land is expensive as hell because it ain't that much of it, and one individual owning so much of it. I think that's not helpful when it comes to being treating all members of society equally. So like I know
like
what you were just saying, Phil, about how it's cool for a family to have so much land. That's not beneficial to other citizens. Everybody needs to have at some point an ideal amount of land. And given that land is constantly decreasing, because that's what happens when you subtract area from other area or whatever, it becomes more expensive because we live in a capitalist society. At least I'm speaking for America. And so how is that helping the new generations?
I gotta run, man. I gotta go pick up my daughter. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
But did y'all hear what I said, Oscar?
Yeah, I heard what you said. You sound like a socialist.
I actually am a socialist to an extent. But
we gotta have some more
conversation. That was socialist. I'm shocked you would say that. But
I mean, it is kind of.
All right, damn. Okay.
He had to go. He had to roll. So
okay. No. What did you hear? What I said? What I just said is what a socialist would say, Shad.
One second.
At some point, land will be used up and it will be expensive, and it's not right for one person to be like, "Yeah, I own 2,000 acres." Really? You? What about the rest of Americans? So you can't glorify. Phil was actually glorifying how cool it is for family members to be passing land down and this and that. It won't happen in a practical reality. And if it do, it'll be bad for other citizens.
Oh, so I share your ideals about that, but the reality is we don't live in a socialist country. So
I know, capitalist.
Like, so if we're talking about how things should be allocated for a socialist country, I agree with you. But since we do live in a capitalist society, then I still have my stance that, if people are going to be owning land, then we should be able to have the chance to own land. And because it was denied from our people for so long, then they need to have some type of way of at least allowing us to attempt to catch up. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be eventually. It's gonna be I'm trying to find the right word, but it's gonna be a dead end with that. It's kind of like, how stock markets crash. It's a reason why stock markets crash. It's a reason why a company will fail instead of prosper. And if you keep buying up land just because you can buy up land because that's your freedom or whatever it is, and yet more people are being born, more citizens are populating the country and planet. It's not gonna be good.
There's a shitload of land in America. Hey, we're gonna we're running up on 2 hours, Dave. We need to wrap this up. So go ahead and final thoughts on.
That was mine.
Final thoughts on anything we talked about today. Matter of fact.
I just really enjoyed the dialogue and everything. I think for this to be our first actual, official recording where we had more than just 2 people or whatever, I think it's a start. Let's get it going.
All right, Dave.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Same what Oscar said.
All right. Same here, man. I really appreciate y'all for doing this. We all grew up together. We all grew up separate but together, and we all have different opposing opinions. It's nice to be able to get together and share and see where we live what 2-3 streets apart from each other.
Yeah,
and you can see all the divergence of how everybody thinks and stuff.
Yep.
But
when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we need to all meet up somewhere too.
Yeah. Facts.
Man, why
facts.
you point at the camera like
Facts.
that, man?
Facts. Hey, so if y'all like the content, y'all go ahead and like, share, subscribe. If you want to say something in the comments, if you don't agree with Dave, because everybody's not going to agree with. I'm joking. if you don't agree with us,
sure there's going to be a lot of white folks agreeing with me. I'm pretty
if you
sure.
don't agree with us,
not that that's a It's a white thing.
Yeah, say something in the comments if y'all got some topics y'all would like for us to talk about. Go ahead and say that. Our presentation is gonna get better as we grow, and I appreciate y'all coming by. This has been the Reflection Connection Podcast, episode 1.
Yes, sir.
Peace, guys.
Man, I got a
Peace,
crooked
peace.
finger, man. I can't point good.
Peace.